We're going to learn two commands this time. That's touch and mkdir, or also known as mkdir. So we're going to start with touch. The main purpose of touch is to create empty files and even multiple files at once. Let's see this in action by going to our terminal. Right now I'm already inside a folder. Um, I got inside here using the cd change directory command we learned previously. And if I type ls, you can see that the folder is completely empty. Let's say I want to create some files, maybe some letters for some friends. To create these files, I just type touch and then the name of the file. Let's hit enter. And if I do ls again, now we can see that this touch file is showing up here. Now, one good thing about this command is that we can create multiple files at once. For example, I could type touch and type Steve that txt, then McDowell that txt, and click enter. You can also create more, as many as you want. I'm just going to create two more at the same time. And if I do ls again, you'll see that all three files are showing up here. Pretty simple, right? But why is it called touch and not create? That's a great question that I even asked myself previously. While we often use it to create files, the real purpose of touch is to update the file stamp. Here's what happens behind the scenes. If the file does not exist, touch creates it. That's what we usually see and use it for, right? But if the file already exists, touch just updates the last modified date to the current time. So to test this, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna clear my screen, and this time I'm gonna list all the files that I have created again using ls uh, with the flag -l. So this option ls-l flag shows more details, including the last modified time of each file, which is right here. This is the time they were actually created, or in other words, modified. Now, let's see, let's say that I want to modify the first one I created. So I'm going to do touch and type john.txt again, hit enter, and this time I'm going to do ls-l again. So here, as you can see, the timestamp was updated. It was originally created at 4:28, and now this the timestamp says 4:31. So touch does not just create files; it also touches them by refreshing their modification time. Now, as the second part, or part two, we're gonna learn about mkdir. So for that, I'm gonna clear my screen. mkdir or makedir, however you want to call it, and this stands for make directory. This one is super straightforward, and it lets you create new folders. So now that we already have our screen clear, I'm gonna type ls because I want to list again what I have here, the three files. Let's say I want to organize all these letters by putting them inside of a folder called letters. So for that, I can just type mkdir and then the name of the folder. That's going to be letters. Let's do ls. We can also do ls-l. This is the same thing, same output that we have here. The only difference is that with this option we have more details. So after running ls, we're able to see that we have a new item, and it's this one called letters, and that's our folder. Now, on my terminal, it's very easy to determine what is a letter and what is a folder because the folders are showing up as color blue, while the regular files, the text files, are showing in white. Sorry, so that makes it easy for us to know what they are. But sometimes it's really hard to tell which items are files and which are folders. And this is because some terminals, everything looks the same. Folders and files, they will be, let's say, for example, in white or in black. So you won't be able to tell exactly the difference. So if that's the case in your terminal, an option that you can use is ls dash dash color. Just type this, color, and click enter, and it will automatically assign some colors. Folders might appear in blue or another color, that will depend on your system, and the files in white, which will make it much easier to tell them apart. The color is determined by your system, but one thing that is sure is that you will be able to differentiate between folders and files. All right, so let's do just a real recap. So with this command touch, this creates empty files or updates the timestamps of an existing file. The mkdir command creates new directories, or also known as folders. And even though we've seen this previously, just as a refresher, the ls-l command lists files with extra details like permissions and timestamps. And the ls dash dash colors color adds color to help you know what are files and what are folders. So far, we've learned how to create files and folders, but what if we want to move those files into a new folder? So let me do an ls-l. What if we want all our files that we just created to be added into the letters um, folder? Well, that's something that we will cover in our next lecture. We're going to talk about the mb command, or also known as the move command.